So I took the hood off, and I ran this 5-gallon can, which was tied up to the wiper arm up here. I've done this before. Gravity fed the carburetor, took it for a drive, and it drove much, much, much better. It still sputtered at full throttle, but that's normal with just gravity feeding. I've gravity fed many times before, and it's not enough pressure to exactly handle full throttle, but it was very close. And it ran much better than, hooked up to the fuel pump on the vehicle. So while the fuel pump was disconnected, before I disconnected the line down here, I hooked it up to this, much like you see right here, and I ran it into a 1-gallon jug, one of these little apple juice containers that I tend to save. And the fuel that was coming out was like not dripping, but it was trickling. It was like if you take this and you just turn it, and it trickles like that, really quickly. That's kind of what it was like. It was filling up the container. I would say after about 3 minutes or so, the container was getting kind of full. But that seemed really weak and really slow to me. Because I specifically remember when I was working on the J10, trying to find its issues for stalling and all that stuff, which I have now figured out. As I was testing the fuel lines and the fuel pump, by disconnecting them and putting them into a bottle just like I did right here, I noticed that the J10's fuel pump, from what I remember, like squirts out like a super soaker, like really fast. And the line also shakes. You can feel the pulsing like a heartbeat, if that makes sense. And I didn't feel that on the Wagoneers pump. Now, when I messed with all the J10 stuff last year, I put a spare pump, brand new one, that I had on the J10, and of course that didn't solve my issues. However, I did remember that J10's fuel pump I took off, I still have. So let me charge my phone. It's about to die again. I still had that pump. So, and that pump was brand new, used brand new, if that makes sense. Somebody had put it on at one point. However, because it was in the rusted lines, the inside of these lines were really rusty, right? This is the Wagoneers pump. So I decided to take the Wagoneers pump off, put that one on, which I know is good. And again, I hooked it up to this bottle, actually, and I turned the vehicle on, and once it started pumping fuel, it was like black, throwing rusty chunks, which I knew which would happen, because the pump was hooked up to a shitty fuel system on the J10 at one point. But once all that stopped and cleared up, it was normal colored fuel, but it was squirting like a super soaker. I mean, like shooting. The line was like pulsing. You could feel it, you know what I mean? So I'll show you guys this real quick. Sorry, I had to hook all this up while my phone was charging. So now I have the J10's fuel pump in here. I have this little gravity-fed contraption that I use to hook up to the carburetor. Now let me turn the Jeep on and show you what I'm talking about. Now once this thing starts pumping, like it's really pumping now. You see how it's squirting out? Do you see the pulsing? All the pulsing that it has? The Wagoneers pump was just trickling out. Nice and clean. Yeah, much, much better. So yeah, that was the issue. Apparently, I'm going to take it for another test drive. God, I cross my fingers and hope this actually works. Got to charge my phone again. Another nighttime test, yay. Okay, so it's all hooked up. There's a straight right up here. Usually it always dies when I go wide open throttle on this spot. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Finally. I know fuel pump sounds so simple, but damn, you know, process of elimination, this, that, this, that, this, that. Really need to get myself a pressure tester so I don't have to go through this again. Let's try it one more time. Let's do it on this strip over here. When I get up the hill. No problems going up the hill either. Let's try it when we get over here. No problems whatsoever. Thank you. So I'll end the video here. This has been like a long thing going. I mean, this started 2 years ago, and it's been intermittent. You know, it works fine, and then it doesn't, and then it works, and you know, I don't know why I never decided to try the fuel pump from the get-go, but whatever. Live and learn. At least everything is clean, fresh, rebuilt, and you know. So, thanks for watching, everybody.